Alright guys, welcome to the new video. So here is a bunch of life updates pretty much and what's been going on. So last night I had to slam food, in the past 2 days I have been needing to slam food because for some reason my appetite disappeared. And so yesterday I had to wake up at 6 in the morning to drop off Erin at the airport because she went home to visit Ohio, where we're from and stuff. She just wanted to see her family. So I literally couldn't go to bed. It was after I posted the full day of eating. I could not sleep. I couldn't sleep for and I go to bed at 5, literally wake up at 6, take her to the airport. On the way home, bro, I'm using the carpool lane and I have one person. But in all fairness, I had Vert in the car, so maybe he would have counted, but he didn't. Yeah, I get pulled over, bro, and now I have to pay $900 or $1,000 because I use the carpool lane. But at least it doesn't give me any points on my license if I pay it, I guess. But I was just like, man, let me go home and go to sleep, bruh. I'm trying to skip this traffic because I'm on 1 hour of sleep. Who doesn't use the carpool lane to escape traffic? Are you kidding me, bro? I've honestly, bro, I feel like that's just an urban legend, pulling people over for using the carpool lane when it's just one person. I don't know. It's not actually an urban legend, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something that they don't even do that often because who cares? And I was also in traffic that wasn't even moving. You're acting like I'm taking up space in the carpool lane. I'm not gonna get into it. You know how it is when you get a ticket, man. You just don't want to take that accountability. It's my bad, but... So I get home, stay up till 9, couldn't sleep, and ever since then, my sleep has been horrible. And Erin's not here to help me wake up and stuff, I'm not an independent person like that, bro. I need somebody to help me, get my shit together. I mean, kinda, but, I'm all messed up, bro. I went to bed at, 3 in the morning last night, woke up at, 1:40 today. Oh, my gosh. I'm doing horrible. But today, it's chest day. So... that's a good sign, because who doesn't like a good old chest day? I'm about to get literally the best workout of my life. So instead of sitting on my phone, right when I woke up, I literally woke up, looked at my phone, said 1:40, I freaked out. I literally just freaked out, and I ran downstairs, took the dogs outside, fed them, brushed my teeth, whatever, got my day started. And now I'm not in the sun right now because I'm vlogging, but I'm standing out in the sun areas in my backyard, over there and stuff, because I just want to get some vitamin D and man, wake up. I'm gonna drink a water, just try to get my day started and try to set the tone for the day, because I'm trying to make up for that lost time. But today this is gonna be my first day on the powerbuilding program. So I'm super, super excited. So we actually have flat bench today, which is just gonna be, it's gonna be fun to see where we're at. I'm gonna make some eggs and some sausage. Dude, it was actually sad last night. It was a sad sight to see. If I could look back and just watch myself, I made 5 Italian sausages at 2 in the morning. I'm sitting there just literally not even on my phone, not watching TV. I'm just sitting there in silence, chewing on these sausages, bro, and just wanting to literally end it all. But that's just what it takes, man. But I woke up at least pretty heavy because, dude, the day before, where I got no sleep and I took her into the airport the day I was just talking about, I ate nothing. Though I woke up late, I got some good sleep, so at least today, I think I'm not gonna feel as lethargic and full and lackluster just throughout the day. We still didn't get that 1 out of 10, but we're chasing it. We got 8 out of 10 again. Every video is doing just horrible, but like I said, I don't even really care about the views. It's weird. I've noticed that throughout the 4 days I've been posting, I've been averaging more or the same amount of comments and really good engagement still, but I'm just not getting more views. So it means a lot of you guys who really me are watching, and that's what matters to me. So yeah, I'm stoked about that. So yeah, please drop a like on the video. Let's aim for it. Let's get 8,000 likes on this video. I don't know if we can do it because I'm not racking in 100K every video, but it's just because I'm posting every day. But let's try it. Kind of I did y'all a solid. I went out to Young LA Gym. I went to a public gym. That's the most you're gonna get out of me for a couple of days. So recently, I figured out something. By the way, I'm gonna reassemble, but move stuff back where it was because I had my car parked in here. I don't know if I've said it in video, but I probably have a few times, I think, about the big change that I've had over the course of 2 years of my caffeine slash pre-workout consumption. So I don't take Gorilla pre-workout anymore. I don't take any type of pre-workout anymore. The only type of pre-workout I take is energy drinks. And that is some days. Some days I don't have any caffeine at all. But if I do have caffeine, it's just an energy drink. It's the only form of energy that I get that is outside of my natural production of energy, right? Throughout the day. I've noticed recently, because, I mean, you gotta think, I think I'm drinking, you know, even an energy drink probably 3 times a week. I've noticed recently that when I drink an energy drink, it literally keeps me up all night. Like, that's how desensitized I am to caffeine now, and it's actually insane. I also have thought to myself recently, I kind of like never drink the energy drink, like, like, right, all right, let's go. Like, I take casual, very slow sips of it. So I don't feel like an instant effect from it. I more feel like a little bit more energy just like for longer periods. So today I thought to myself, all right, I'm gonna chug an energy drink. I haven't done it yet, but so I'm gonna chug an energy drink and I wanna see, you know, how drastically that changes my workout and my, you know, my thought process, my speech, like everything. Because maybe like back in the day when I was always an animal, it's because I was taking like a lot of pre-workout. And I take it for a workout, I make sure it's all done, then I go in. I haven't done that in like a long time. And I'm pretty excited. So we also have a chest workout, and I have to do flat bench. I'm just hyped. I'm hyped right now. And guess what, guys? Currently 94 degrees in here. I haven't had a sweaty workout in a minute. 95! It's 95! That's my like little thermometer, kind of. It's like a heater, but it's also a thermometer. It doesn't really make it any hotter in here, by the way, when I turn that little ass heater on. But yeah, 95. Do you know how excited I am? Words can't even express the excitement that I'm feeling. Like, I'm not intentionally doing it to like look out for myself, you know, like, oh, I shouldn't be taking, you know, caffeine every day or whatever. I honestly just genuinely like stopped taking as much of it for like no particular reason. Like, I don't know what happened, but I feel like as I got a little older, saying like 2 years ago up until like 2 years ago, maybe like a year and a half ago, I would say every day I'm like, bro, I never can sleep. It takes me an hour or 2 to get out. Even if I'm off my phone, I can't sleep. And I was just so ignorant to the fact that it's always from pre-workout. Because even if like some days, even if you take pre-workout at 12 p.m., it can keep you up all night depending on what you took. You know, if it's DMA or something, like DMA, you won't sleep. So I promise you, I feel like half of my viewers or more that say they can't sleep at night, I guarantee, like take 1 week, or no, try to take a week and a half or 2 off of any caffeine. I guarantee you'll actually be able to go to bed. But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know, I'm not the same person I used to be, man. I'm on my old man shit. Like, I don't know, dude. Caffeine keeps me up all night. I don't really take caffeine that much anymore. You know, like, I don't know. So before we get started, I'm not gonna go like super in depth about it, but I wanna give you guys a few tips for bench press. Not in terms of how to get strong, because that kind of takes way too long to explain, but, you know, more form-wise. But I mean, even if you lock down your form, though, you're going to get stronger inevitably. So there's a few misconceptions with bench press. We've all seen those crazy arch videos on, you know, the internet of people powerlifting, and their arch is just insane. Their range of motion is 2 centimeters. I haven't looked at any studies, but by personal experience, the shorter my range of motion is, I definitely get less stimulus on my pec. But, you know, when I'm benching, I'm not really going for, I'm not going into benching with the thought of like growing the muscle. I'm going into benching thinking I want to be strong and I want to get stronger. And the way to get stronger is to decrease your range of motion, obviously. To decrease the range of motion, you're going to have an arch. Now the thing is, even if I was doing a bodybuilding bench press, I would want a little arch. I wouldn't want it huge because, like I said, the more exaggerated your arch is, I feel like I get less stimulus on the pec. But I still want to have a little arch. So people make fun of the arch, but in reality, when you arch your back on bench press and you set your shoulder blades back, you know, you retract your shoulder blades, retract your scapula, you're putting your shoulders in a much safer position. And on top of putting your shoulders in a safer position, you're also going to shorten that range of motion, which is, you know, in theory, whether you're, you know, if you get used to it in a few sessions or maybe right away, you're going to be stronger. Now, I get some shit for having my arch, and I get some shit for having my range of motion, but the thing is I don't think people realize how insanely long my range of motion is for me being like a power lifter. So wherever you put your whatever finger you put around the ring here is going to determine is going to also determine how long the range of motion is, right? So if I do my index finger around the ring, right? Look at this range of motion. You see that, right? Versus if I do my pinky around the ring, look at this range of motion. right? You can obviously tell the difference there. And again, shorter range of motion equals more strength, which is why midgets are so strong, right? We've all seen like extremely strong midgets, and like that's why people say like, you know, if you're short, lifts are easier, which isn't true on the deadlift. Kind of true on the squat, but definitely true on bench. The shorter and tubby your arms are, you're definitely gonna be stronger on bench press. But it doesn't translate in the deadlift really at all, and it doesn't really translate too much in the squat. A little bit, depending on the person, but not always. For me, I actually do the pinky around the ring. Like, I'm basically doing a fucking close grip. So like, you know, when I bench 405, you can even see in the video, I did pinky around the ring. So this is my range of motion, which, you know, that's not a very, you know, short range of motion for somebody who's benching 405 pounds. So I don't really get this shit there, but either way, right? You know, just remember that. But the thing is you have to think, am I stronger with my chest or am I stronger with my triceps? Because I've actually tried to put my index finger around the ring and bench before, and I did it for about a month straight, barely seen any results. As soon as I switched back to pinky, I was even stronger. So the thing is if you do your index finger or, you know, middle, like whatever, you know, let's say this, right? Like your middle finger / your ring finger can be used if you don't really know if your chest or triceps are stronger. But for me, my triceps are definitely stronger for the bench press. Because it doesn't matter how much your tricep push down, it doesn't matter how much you're incline dumbbelling. Like, the bench press is its own movement, and you're gonna have to kind of discover what you're stronger at, because this is the whole entire movement, and you're gonna be utilizing, you know, a lot more of your central nervous system during the movement. I've noticed like I'm just stronger pinky, which makes my range of motion a little longer, but it makes up for it because my triceps just are the powerhouse of the bench press for me. But another thing you need to think about it is we all have to see where everyone's coming from, right? So if you see the most ridiculous powerlifting video and somebody's arching with 2 inches of range of motion, is that stupid? Like, kinda. It doesn't look right. It's not really, you know, the way you're supposed to bench press. It's not even utilizing any muscle growth. But if it meets competition, you know, standards, then they're gonna do what they have to do to be as strong as they can and you know, lift the weight up. You know, don't blame it on the lifter. I'd blame it on the federation, right? Another huge thing is leg drive, right? So when you sit down on the bench and you lift the bar off, you know, you have an arch depending on what size you want or whatever goals you want. And watch my legs throughout the movement, okay? If I really lock in. Obviously, it's a little harder to show examples with the weight being that light. But basically, I like to put this in perspective as like, let's say you're doing a lat pull down, okay? And let's say you tuck your knees in to that holster when you're doing the lat pull downs and hold yourself down, obviously, right? Do you ever kind of like lift you're almost doing like a calf raise to push your knees into the holster of the lat pull down to pull down more weight? It's almost like you're using like a force against a force to like be stronger. And the same concept can be used during the bench press if you know what you're doing. Now the biggest issue with leg drive is sometimes people have the misconception that when they use their legs during the bench press, it's gonna look like this. Right? You know, your ass is flying up off the bench. That's what we call a football bench press. That's the shit that your stupid football coach will be having you doing. And man, let me tell you, if any lift didn't count, I would take having your ass flying off the bench as the biggest indicator that you did not just bench press that weight. Because that is basically, you're just basically doing a decline bench at that point, right? Even if you're arched or not, it just doesn't really count, you know? Like if you have a little bit, maybe an inch off of it, it's not the biggest deal because you're probably just trying to get your leg drive down. But, you know, if your ass is flying off that bench, let me tell you, bud, you did not hit that number. That shit does not count. So, because that can drastically differentiate the amount of weight you can do on the bench press. And also, it just looks silly. I mean, you look dumb. That's not how you're supposed to bench press. By competition standard and by human standard, right? That's like the sumo deadlift, but even worse of the bench press is when your ass comes up. So the thing is what they're doing is they think by using their legs, they have to push up. But in reality, you have to think of utilizing your legs in the bench press as if you're sliding up and off the bench. So when I'm pushing my legs while I'm benching, I have my, my foot to my knee at about a 90-degree angle, I assume. I can't see it, but yeah, it's about where I do it every time. When you're bench pressing, you don't want to push up, you want to pretend you're sliding up off the bench, like that. Because you're going to stick to the bench if you have a good bench. Now, if your bench isn't sticky and you have a nice bench like this, one thing I can recommend is buying some bands So you take the band, you take two, you wrap the band from the top to here all the way around it, and you wrap another one on the other side, so you have two bands here, so it can hold your shoulders in place on the bench press. And that'll prevent you kind of from sliding. Also, you wouldn't really want to wear, if you want to utilize that, like a really silky shirt. You'd want to have like a stringer on, so your back is sticking to the bench. Also, I've even heard that people put chalk on the bench or on their feet and stuff, if you want to get like crazy with it. The last thing I want to cover right here is, I wanted to explain to you guys that the wider and fatter a bench is, the stronger you're going to be. And that's just how it is. Because if you think about it, when you're bench pressing, this is a nice one, this isn't my fat pad. I don't really like benching with my fat pad. It's a little too big for me, like I feel like it's too tall. But this is still a really nice, solid, sticky, fat bench. Now, if you have a really thin, really shitty bench press, you're just not going to be as strong. Because what's happening is, when you have your rear delts right here and you're benching, let's say the bench went out to here. That's equivalent to pressing almost on the floor, right? Like, it's almost like, because the bench is so wide, it's covering so much of your shoulder behind here, that it's almost like not letting you go all the way down. And because you're holding so much weight, you're gonna inevitably get all the way down. But because if the bench is really, really fat, you're gonna have so much rear delt support that it's almost gonna, like, in a way, be able to slingshot your bench up off of it. Not exactly slingshot, it's not gonna, like, obviously, like, push it up for you. But the point is let's say I'm laying on the floor and I go to bench. Lay on the floor and just do this. Just feel how powerful you are from right there, right? Because your elbows are as far as they can go down. Obviously, you're not going to be able to, you can't touch your chest on the floor. But the point is, if it's supporting your entire arm, your range of motion is kind of cut and you can just fly out of that hole. And the thinner the bench is, the less support you're going to have on your, your lat/delt area. So the range of motion is just going to feel a lot longer because you can go down so much further. So yeah, that's why, like, on the fat pad, you're always going to be, like, really, really strong usually compared to usual. Unless, you're really not used to it and it's just kind of throwing you off, which can happen too. But yeah, the thinner the bench, you're probably just going to be weaker, which is why commercial gyms or really poopy gyms that you go to, you're like, damn, why am I so weak today? It's just because of lackluster equipment. I didn't go through all the cues, obviously, but yeah, that's basically it. Now, without further ado, I'm going to start benching. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I had to throw the bandana on. I already feel like I'm sweating so bad, bro. That energy drink. Oh my god! Woo! You're about to witness the best fucking chest workout! Anybody, please. Somebody's gotta make me an I'm God, Clams Casino, Lex Little SoundCloud beat. I need to hear it ASAP. Alright, so that was my top set of 5. I mean, not top set, I got 3 sets of 5. I'm really trying to pause it so I can get used to pause reps like quicker. I wouldn't usually pause it like that much. I'm really just trying to control the weight so I can get used to it quicker. When you're powerlifting, you gotta drop the ego, bro, for a couple weeks, and it'll be fucking glorious. Just drop the ego, stay at the correct RPEs, lock in! Lock the fuck in! Every time you see a fucking hater, that's just another reason to lock the fuck in. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta just tell yourself, I don't wanna be like them. I can't be like them. I literally physically can't be like them. It's my goal in life to not be like you. You're a fucking loser. You gotta wanna surpass motherfuckers. You can't look at the guy next to you and think that shit's not achievable. Shit. On the come up, I would look at the most unattainable fucking physiques ever. I still do. I still look at these motherfuckers and I'm like, I can do that shit. I would rather live
in a fucking fairy tale where I'm looking at people who look better than me and are doing better than me. You know, I'm talking about whether it's a billionaire or if it's somebody who's just simply, at the end of the day, objectively not even achievable naturally. Their physique is just not even attainable. I'm chasing that shit naturally. I don't give a fuck. I'm living in fairy tale land. I'm pushing this shit as far as I can fucking go. I'd rather sit there, you know what, fuck it, lie to me. You know what? I want everyone to be a fucking fake natty that's big as fuck. Cause you know what? It's gonna give me every more fucking reason to push harder. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Fuck it. You know what? Show me fucking Mr. Olympia and have him claim natural. I'm chasing that shit. I'll live in a lunacy to achieve that shit. At least if I'm living in a lie and I'm believing in something like that is a fucking false reality, that shit's gonna get me a hell of a lot further believing in that shit than sitting there being a loser sulking up in my own shitty ass fucking mentality being like, oh, this guy's not fucking naturally achievable. I can never look like him, or you'll never look like him in a billion years. He has 0.1% genetics. Man, shut your dumb ass up, bro. We gotta chase that shit. Fuck you talking about? Take that shit as motivation. Quit sitting on your ass, you know what? Maybe if you spent less time complaining like a little bitch and more time working hard as fuck, you could achieve a little bit of that. Cause fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to look like Ronnie Coleman in this bitch. That is not even possible, but I'm trying to do it. I'm living in fairy tale land. If it needs to be done. What I'm saying is, in the world, you know, not everyone's gonna be as nice as you and not everyone's gonna be as kind as you. We're gonna have people who lie. I'd rather at least look at those liars. First of all, damn. Second of all, so last time I did a push day, chest day, whatever, I did hundreds for like 10, maybe. I'm gonna try 110 today. I don't feel particularly like super strong, but I'm gonna try 110s. Considering how far we're into this workout, that was good. 110s for 8. I'm taking that all day and night. said this a long time ago in a video, but basically, let's say you're filming a set of cable flies and you want to look good. So it might not be the best for the contraction, but if you want to look sick when you do cable flies, what you're going to want to do is you bring the weight down and you want to push your shoulders out and like almost like flare your lats. Like look, if I'm just doing it like this versus like if I'm like really bossing my shoulders up and like sucking in and like flaring my lats out, you see like the width? So that's basically what I do like every single time I do cable flies on camera because I just don't want to look like shit. I'm going to be filming my first ever podcast ever. I've never done a podcast in my life, and Anthony wanted to come over and do one. So, I think it's called Iron Bros Podcast. I don't know when it'll be out, but I think the next Iron Bros Podcast episode will be me. So if you want to watch me chop it up for an hour and a half, yeah, Iron Bros Podcast. Also, hopefully I don't I don't know. I get worried about the podcast, man. I've never done one, and like, I just feel like I'm gonna say something to piss someone off. It's gonna take it out of context, or like, man, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, shut your dumb ass up and just do that podcast. Ah, shit.
First podcast?
Yep.
Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna talk. We're just gonna talk like we're friends.
Yeah.
Kind of like give like introduction and thoughts and conversations. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Should be good, bro.
I hate how one of my shoulders gets higher than the other during this movement. I don't know what to really do about it because, like, I mean, I don't have a mirror in front of me, and also, like, I don't know. It's been like that for a long time. If anybody has any recommendations as to like why one of my shoulders always goes higher than the other, let me know. Pump kind of died out because I'd opened the garage and yeah, also took a little break and it's like freezing in my actual house. So pump kind of went down a little bit, but wow, 199.1. I'm actually so impressed with that, dude. Like the fact that I'm 199 pounds at this weight and I look like really good is insane.